Well, hello, hello. Sorry, having some technical difficulties this morning trying to do a live stream. That's what I'm doing right here. Got me going down doing a live stream. I, uh, yeah. Morning. How's everybody doing? Got some time before the deliveries are made still. So about 30, 40 minutes before I take off. I was up this morning. I actually cleaned this morning. I had a lot of cleaning I had to do. Laundry, kitchen. Still wake up early. I got to do finding out I have to do the things that I have to do in order to the things that I want to do, yeah, in order to do the things I need to do, I have to do the things I have to do. I don't know if that's like a saying or anything, but I learned that this morning with like I can still go back into like practicing and doing this stuff, or I can actually do what I need to do, which is the things you have to do, and then there's things I have to do. There's things that I have to I have to keep going and doing. I'm having issues with my Facebook and on my and streaming. So lately, I've just been streaming on my other platforms. But here, that's they're talking about. I have to go live to share it on my Facebook page, or maybe I don't. But this is the way I'm doing it. About the difference between streaming and how about we go streaming versus podcasting? Because I found out it's a big difference. Let's have a talk. Also, all right, here we go. That's good enough. Share. So here I'm I'm actually inside My Manic Movies. I'm in the video store right now. I haven't really done much, and I'm noticing it's getting a lot of traffic. So I need to come back and start posting in here. But yeah, this is the actual. I don't have my website up anymore. I don't know what happened. I was paying for everything, and I don't know. I wasn't doing anything with it, so it had to stop. Let's see. All right, let's talk. All right, so I'm definitely. It's kind of funny because I've been doing this for a minute and not knowing that I was doing streaming. I've been live streaming this whole time. This is funny. I use a platform called StreamYard. It's right in the name. It feels this is a lot like I've been on other people's podcasts. I talked to other people. I didn't understand that there is a not. I guess there's a major difference because right now I did my first official. Well, not my first official. This was like the one I actually got to the end podcast because I was trying to do like some kind of I'm a hybrid, so my mind always kind of blends things. So I was thinking that you can do live streaming with podcasting. Now, podcasting might be a lot easier to some people, and streaming might be easier. Um, I don't know. I just got into it. This stuff is kind of like it's kind of similar, integrated. They're all the same thing in a sense. There's compartmentalized different, but like also I'm supposed to add in my cool. I'm supposed to add in my I forgot what I was gonna say. I was supposed to add just like streaming and podcasting. So I found out I got my detox tea right here, and I found out that this is the way I'm saying it. I'm saying this is the reference. Streaming is to digital as podcasting is to analog. Or actually, the digital is to streaming as analog is the podcasting. Meaning that I've only like 99% of my stuff has been streaming. And now I'm like breaking into podcasting. I have all the equipment. I have the setup for podcasting because you basically do the same thing with streaming, but they're different. And in the sense of streaming, I'm used to doing live shows. I'm used to doing talking like this off the cuff, off the top of my head. I'm used to doing now I do stand up. That's another thing that's more preparation, but that's me talking. I work at the theater. I'm doing you do soft edits plays, performances. So the curtain goes down, curtain goes to the side. I'm the guy that does that, the curtain stuff. and then projectors, edits, blackouts. You start learning all that stuff, which I didn't even know it's in here because I need it. I think I actually, so yesterday I was with a buddy of mine and we're doing a podcast on Wednesdays now, and it's called Wait, That Didn't Kill You. It's a show by Ty Gwynn and myself. I'm finding out that we really did our first guest yesterday, which is it was a huge YouTuber. We had him on the show, and we hit it off, and he's a cool, really cool individual. I understand why he has so many followers. I'll talk about him later. His name is JP Lambiase. There you go. I'm thinking about the way he did his. He has a three phonetically way to say his name. It's a JP Lambiase, and I met him yesterday. Man, he was cool. Got to hang out with Ty's always cool. He was always a great hang. I'm always the oddball. I'm always like, I don't mean to be like that. It's just, I hang out with a 5-year-old all day, and then I hang out with adults. So it's like I'm doing hard shifts. I got to be with this kind of mind, and then I got to be this kind of mind. In the meantime, I've been teaching myself things, and I have noticed that my son is getting a lot older. Yeah, his birthday's coming up, and now I could start to do a lot more things that I'm able to do. But I'm having a realization that that podcasting in the simplistic form is easier to do, as in like we can just show up and talk. You can do that with streaming, but it's basically all you need is a digital recorder, like a device that records your audio, your voice. And what does that mean? Is this? I don't even know if my audio is coming in. I might have tapped something. Anyways, so that's how you do like a streaming, where a podcast is you just record the voice, and then something threw me. It says air. What is this? Did I pitch this by accident, or is it on? Because I'm on the air. I'm sorry. I'm like, see, sometimes I could troubleshoot. You can troubleshoot kind of like let's see. Let's see. Let me just check it out. Let's see how it sounds. Because if it sounds kind of funny, I could take off that button, I think. Wait, what am I doing? Am I live? There you go. All right, it works. Sorry, I had to do that because I was like, I've never seen that button before on my interface. Anyway, so the interface, another thing. So with streaming is basically going to be more, I think in preparation form, streaming, you kind of have to have everything as you go, or you're going to keep seeing me do all this stuff and it eats up time, and you don't want to do that. Now, you don't want to do that with podcasting either, but podcasting allows you for time for pauses and breaks. You got to do back and edit video and edit audio, and at its simplest form is just audio. So we're working on audio, and then the video comes in. That's what threw me off of podcasting when they added the video. They added the video to podcasting, when I got into it, I was like, oh, you need both, because I think podcasts have been around for a minute. It's like radio. But then they added the video part, and I thought it was the same thing, and it's not. Maybe it is. I don't know. This is the way I'm bringing it down. So I just wanted to also see how social media, it's here. It's not going anywhere. As much as people want to get mad and say that they don't want to be on it, it's like we're here. We're the digital age. So this is where we're going, kind of. I got a lot of people hit me up for Texas Frightmare. We got that coming up soon, and that's gonna be fun. Keep going. All right, let's set this thing up real quick. All right, let's see. Let's check it out. This is what you can do with your social medias. I just woke up. I woke up at 5, but I haven't fixed myself. I'm just going to work like this. This is why I actually have a job that I don't have to get all dressed up for. This job I should get more dressed up for all the time, but yeah. But this is the cool thing about it. Like I'm learning because you gotta, I don't know. I have to be a lot of places at once. And this way, like, I'm showing you, like, this is like, oh, look at this. So now I have 2 distractions. And this is not very, this is never, what do you call it? I'm doing cross-platforming. This is why they have StreamYard and whatnot to keep it all together. So I haven't set up my IG perfectly yet. But here we go. We're going live. So Instagram, and this is the other ones, minus Facebook. I can't figure out why my Facebook won't connect to my StreamYard. I reset it. That's why I said earlier. I got on, and I resetted it, and now this is pretty cool. I feel like I'm talking to two people. So we're gonna have I don't think we should do this. I'm just letting people know. I'm gonna do this for about five minutes. Let people know that we're telling your followers that you started a live video. So let everybody know I'm doing a stream right now on my. You can go to CJ Robles 2.0, or you can just go to My Manic Movies, and or you just go to my YouTube page and CJ Robles 2.0, and you'll see this video. Basically, just wondering what's the difference between streaming and podcasting. I think there's a difference. I feel like I found it out yesterday. We were shooting our second episode. First episode was just straight trying to get it with the mics, lav mics, all this stuff. Second one, I brought it more of into the podcast world of setup and whatnot. And then now I'm focusing more on, all right, we're gonna take it in phases and steps and day by day. Kind of get a little bit ahead of myself, and I kind of like try to do too many things. But and then my kid, I think he has a growth spurt going on. His birthday's coming up, and I think he has a growth spurt. And he woke up yesterday. He was on fire when he came home from school. He was hot. Gave him some medicine, took it down, and then in the afternoon, I mean, he slept. He fell asleep from like 4 to 6, and that's like, he used to nap when he was little, but now he's older, so he doesn't nap as much. So it was kind of just monitoring him. Right now he's on the kitchen. He's watching Wildcrats. I've been watching that a lot with him. It's an animated show of these two brothers called They're the Kraft Brothers. It's Chris and Martin, and they go around on PBS. They have a show on PBS, and they go around educating people on just animals, safari, underwater, a lot of different things. But I've been watching that show a lot, and it's a good animation, and I see what it really what appeals to people. I'm questionable there are some questionable things about the information, because it's like they say something like Google search doesn't add up, but I don't think it's like I don't think it's the Google search or me. I just think it just sounds different. I think it's the way they say some stuff. But other than that, I like that show a lot. He likes it. I had a video of him. I didn't even realize I saw a video of him when he was 6 months old, 7 months old, learning how to walk. And the TV's on the background, and he's watching it, and it's Wildcrats. And I'm like, dude, this kid's been watching it since he was a little kid. So as we see the difference between streaming and podcasting, now a video like on YouTube or Facebook or whatnot, if I were to do just like an actual like video where I let there's no pauses, no breaks, you just kind of hear it, that would be just straight up post, like a straight up like a video. I am doing I'm not doing that. I'm doing live streaming. I'm hanging out. So he wants to hang out. So he wants to talk movies. I realize a lot of stuff that interests me doesn't interest a lot of people, but it does interest some people. And like I said also too, I've been with my kid the whole time. So, and as we do it, as people get older and time passes, there's a lot more independence that I could distill on him and put into him. And I prepared him to do things on his own, so that way he will, if he ever gets lost or he's ever needs help and he has to rely on himself, he can do that. So that's also what I've been learning about myself, relying on myself that I can do what I need to do by the time I need to do it. I was putting the family a lot ahead, and now the family is like, hey, we need you to kind of do your thing more and more and more and get there. And it's going to be tiring. It's going to be hard. But to do this, like yesterday, I really had to because it's also when I'm searching like, well, how do I do tutorials, or what's the best method to do something? And the search engine, you have to get it right, And if you're streaming, if you're a streamer and you're trying to figure out how to podcast, very similar, the worlds are very blended, but you got to have a different setup, a different approach. With this live streaming, what I'm doing here, it's on the other person, if I were to bring someone in, like on my cell phone right here on Instagram, if I were to bring someone in on this, I wouldn't need them to have all their stuff prepared for a live stream. It would be more like, hey, you could use your phone. We could use, hey, what's up, Sam? We could use your phone. You can use what do you call it, your headphones, your earbuds. There's certain things you can do, like as a streaming on the other side. Now a podcast, because I it's a podcast, you just show up, and then the studio or the environment or the production should be set for. This is my mindset. This is someone that's gone to film school, who's a filmmaker, and how we animator, graphic designer, whatever. I hate these titles. I mean, I love my titles. I just hate everybody has titles. And I'll say that like it falls more like if I were to do a movie and tell somebody we're doing a movie, and I'd be like, hey, we're filming on Monday at 10 o'clock and we're going to film for 8 hours. So be prepared to act. Here's the lines, here's the script, or not. You're an extra or just someone with a small role. You just show up. We'll get you prepared. You do what he tell you. That's it. Now that's kind of the way I see it for a movie set. But if we're doing a video, just like a YouTube video or short, I can just there's the topics as we're gonna do. Show up. I don't really have to do any real. I mean, you still have preparation, but I don't have to do the same preparation. And saying like with a video, there's a point there where I can be like, hey, do a point of view, a POV of you and your camera. Use your camera. Use your phone and use your thing. And you can. With the film, it's like it all has to be what the production does. We want to keep it all the same. It's got to stay transitional. It's got to be fluid and one motion. Where in a video, I feel like it could clunky. It could be something, But not to say that they both come with story. Like if you focus on the story on both of them, the product, the content will come out good. So yeah, like I said, I'm doing this right now because I'm a morning person. Good morning. I'm a morning person, so I like to wake up early. I've been grinding again, staying up late and doing shows and doing stuff like that. I did that for a while, and it was because I was on the Indie Escape, and that's when I got my first opportunity to do other things and start know what a network is. But everyone's all different parts of the United States. Not even like way different parts of the United States: New York, Florida, Alaska, Pittsburgh, Staten Island, just different players, different areas. And we're told to do shows at like 10 p.m. because that's what time somebody gets off that they want to watch, whatever. So I'm doing them like late. And then I was like, as I do stand up, I write stand up, my jokes. I'm trying to prepare them for Monday. That's easy. This is the easiest way for me to do this open mic is right by my house. And by default, I'm doing it. So to go to what do you call it? To go to do like, I mean, it's also it's a busy day for me. Mondays, it's an extended day. So if I wake up at 5 or 4:30, I wake up and I go till 10. It's a long day to start talking, and then I might get till midnight if I have somebody on the air streaming or whatnot. So I'm just learning how to just prepare. And yesterday at the podcast, I really, really did like a part of the conversation. I think that's what's making me do this more and more. I feel like everything's kind of like working out for me if you just serendipity, whatever. Murphy's Law kicks in all the time. So even yesterday, Murphy's Law, all that can go wrong will go wrong. In filmmaking, I have that real bad. Finding out I just have that in general. And maybe it's because I'm a problem solver and I like to like problem solve, but just not all the time. Especially when we literally had the podcast set up and then we stepped away and came back and then my audio wasn't working. Like my video, my audio, I couldn't hear. You couldn't hear me, but you could kind of like figure out like what I was doing. And I mean, we figured it out in the show, but I'm like, all right, I want to work on that. That's what I'm focusing on now. I'm doing the edits. So I'm going to focus on this now. I was only supposed to be on here for like 5 minutes. So I think I've hit my time, but going to be back. I'm doing on my other socials. Just wanted to stop on IG and tell everybody what's up. You'll see if you follow me at CG Robles 2.0, just go to my YouTube and do more of these live streamings. But right now I'm doing a difference between streaming and podcasting. And I just said one was digital, one felt analog, but not to say that they are, but that's what I'm doing. But I'll see IG later. Let's get out of here. And then you got to pick a cover. All these lights in here. Let's see what we do. So I'm saying social media. I just kind of did a quote right now with social media, and I'll say this much: it feels like we're trapped here in a way. What I'm trying to say is that, like, you got to put a lot of time into learning this, and then like you have to come back to it when you could be around doing other things. But this is where we're going, the digital world. I'm still 50. I'm a lot 50-50. I like doing both. Just this is another thing. Like when you want to post, I don't want to lose the stream that I did right now. So I have to kind of like do a. This is where social media comes in too. That's another thing you gotta learn. You gotta learn how to do social media, and it's not even like it's crazy. It's called social media, but you don't socialize. You're by yourself, so you're learning how to do this. And this is why I thought I've done a lot of live streams where there's nobody on, and I've just been me from the beginning to the end. And it's taught me how to podcast. I think that's why I'm kind of looking at it like I was streaming to figure out how to podcast. I never really, and I've been doing this for 4 years, but I mean, it just comes to me and you just got to go and go. And now I have time and clarity, think. Someone asked me for some help and I'm trying to get, all right, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I figure this out? And it's the podcasting. It's the form of, I think it's simpler for me now, but if you would have told me like 4 years ago, okay, start podcasting, I would have been doing this and be like, oh, this is what I've stumbled on. This is how you do that. Talking about the difference between, see, you're doing two, like it's kind of cool. It's like I'm at two stores at once, but one needs my attention and the other, it's like security guard. One needs your attention here, and this other one I'm like, I need to focus, and someone's like doing other stuff, stealing in the background. Talking about the difference between streaming and podcasting. See, and this is like the funny part. Like, you take classes, you read books, you do whatever, you do tutorials, and then you just keep doing it until it gets comfortable. It's kind of like sports. If you never played sports, you kind of have to, in order to get better, you have to like practice, and you got to put a lot of time into it. And that's what I've kind of been doing. I have been doing it, but just trying to figure all of it out. It's like I've just been myself all this time, but now I'm like figuring out, all right, how do you talk about yourself? How do you show what you need? And I don't really care about talking about myself, so I'll talk about the things I do. And I'm boring. I'll do boring things. I got a show I've been wanting to do called The Boring Guy Show. Let's see. I got about 20 minutes left. There you go. And also, yeah, I was talking to my buddy this morning. We're chatting up and talking about Texas Frightmare is coming up. Looking forward to that. Texas Frightmare is the premier Texas horror convention in Dallas. This is number 5. I think I said number 5. I think it's my 5th time going. So it's been going on since 2006. So I'm like always late to the game, but rather show up and play than not show up at all. But I got to use one of my I bought a mic for podcasting, I gotta say 3 years ago, and I ended up using these other mics. Once I got the interface that came in with the Scarlett 2i2, it comes with its own mic, and that mic's the one I use, the red one. That's amazing. But yesterday I let Ty use the AKGP 120, and this thing, oh, he sounds so good. It comes in clear and crisp. So I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do the podcast, how we're going to have the setup. It feels kind of awkward the way we had the little table we had going, and Ty's kind of leading the thing. We might do a longer table, or I might put myself to the side and just make sure the audio runs, make sure the video is running, and make sure everything's recording where I don't have to be in front of the camera. I was in front of the camera, like kind of the visual point, and I was kind of, well, it should be Ty. So I should have them. He wants to go cross and cross. So maybe, what I'm saying, if I'm part of the conversation and I could do that, then I'll be there. But if not, if it works better for me to be to the side, and then we have run the show, I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But we got a podcast. We're getting out next week. So, I'm just focusing on that right now. That's my main focus, other than my like other shows and writing. I'm just trying to get this podcast going because it's like I started a job, and I've been wanting to start a job, and I've been wanting to work, and I've been wanting to do this, and it's hard to kind of show everything and display it, because by the time you get to where I'm at and you still don't have a job, then you have to kind of like do it on your own and do it for yourself. But by this point, when you do it on your own, you tell yourself like it's just you now. Like, looking for someone that needs help, you're gonna do jobs that they can't do. Editing, you're gonna do animating, you're gonna do graphics. You'll end up doing writing, concept. So you have to find the value in theirs, and to do it to where, like me, like I have a lot of content that I've recorded, but I haven't edited. It wouldn't be very wise for me to hire an editor and be like, hey, edit these videos for me the way you want them, because I'm like, well, they're my stories I want to tell. So there's something like that. But if I was working on a project and somebody said, hey, I want a short video for this, then I could hire an if they give me the budget, I could hire an editor and be like, okay, this is the process, this is the flow, this is what we're going. But as me for myself, I'm still kind of like, I have it all organized. Like organization is the one thing you're going to want to do when you do start streaming and podcasting. You're going to want to be organized. You're going to want to be like, you want to know where everything's at. Everything connects. Everything connects in your computer and to the software, to the satellite. It's all connected. So if you break connection, then you got to go find it. And it could be, it's like a trail. So that's what I'm saying with the StreamYard not working on with my Facebook. Right now I'm on 4 other platforms. I'm on my Manic Mondays, movies. I'm only do My Manic Mondays when it's My Manic Mondays. I'm not gonna do that one outside. But I have the video store. I have my fan page, I guess what you call it, and then my YouTube channel, and then X. So that's where these are going. You could add IG now, Instagram, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. It was still in beta testing when I practiced a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago. So maybe I'll bring it back. Maybe I won't. As you can see, I'm trying to break through the surface, trying to break out the bubble, and trying to see where, because I have everything. I have everything set up. I've been working. I always work. So I've been also accumulating credits, and also been getting toys that I'm going to need. I never thought that I was going to be doing this stuff. I never thought I was going to be learning. But I mean, I guess if you go back to, like, you can always connect the dots from my Broadcasting Student of the Year award. I earned that. How did I earn that? Well, because I got into something that I enjoyed and do it. When I graduated high school, there was no avenues really. There was no clear path. There was no, like, you had to also, in the same vein that I'm doing now, you had to do what this is. I didn't know about this. You got to put a lot of time in it, and you really got to see how you got to interview some people, and you got to spend time with some people to learn how they do it, or is it even a thing worth doing? And it just takes by breaking your circle, and you can't just do everything online. You can't follow somebody. You can't just be like, oh, that's how they do it, I need to do it. They can give you advice, but sometimes I'm better if I'm like in person and I can see and figure out. Also, like, the internet, come on, everybody's always lying on this thing. It's hard for me to be like, wait, is that really that person doing it, or somebody else doing it for them? They're just the fluff, because it is hard. It is hard to be the face and then be presentable, and then at the same time do know all this and not be awkward and not be weird and not be tired and not. It's too much. It's too much, man. So that's why you gotta get the followers. I guess that's how it works, right? You get the followers to help you grow, and then you'll get sponsorship, corporateship, whatever. People tell you no, but they'll pay you. So you start learning like that. So I gotta find a way where I'm somewhere here. I'm somewhere streaming, podcasting, video, movies, graphics, animation. All right, I did all this for what? What did I do all this for? So I can be in control. So I can do my own things when I want them, how I want them, how they need to go. Where did all this come from? People lying to me, people stealing from me, people that just using you. So there's a lot of distrust that I have with just the system and everybody else. But I think I've done enough things. I've gone down an avenue that was a little bit rough for most people. It was super rough for me. And I kind of came out the other end as a different individual. And now that I see like, I'm definitely not a sellout. I'm finding that out about myself. I haven't sold out to anything, to no movements, to no sponsorship, corporate. I have to sell out. I got to sell out what things I want to sell out in. But what I'm trying to say is, especially nowadays, like, hey, you have 1 billion followers. Promote my product. Talk about me. Talk about that. Talk about that. And it's just like, we all can see it. It's like we've been stuck in this little machine for a couple years now. And the way I see it too, I'm older than the internet, and I don't really, I'm not saying I don't care, because I think it's very useful and very powerful. There's just a lot of stuff on it, and you have to kind of play this longevity thing of enjoying it and doing it. I'm watching yesterday JP and Ty like just naturally do a podcast, naturally go like do it, because they do live streams, they do videos, they do stand up, they do all this stuff. It's just like, oh, okay, all this, you're just not doing it, so now apply it. You have to apply what you know. You can accumulate it as much as you want. I think it decays. I think it's not relevant sometimes. But it's also good to always know the beginning, the foundations of things. And then once you figure out where you want to go, you can do that. Honestly, like I'm an actor, and somehow I became evolved into so many other things. But I want to say, I was thinking about it, like, what would if I could not do it all over again, but it was like, all right, right now, um, like you can do whatever it is you want to do. Like it'd be 2D animator. I would really want to do that, be a 2D animator. But the thing is, my skill levels and what I've been teaching me are not all 2D. I'm very limited in that. I'd have to really focus. So that'd be like my card, and that would be like 10% when I've been putting 90% into this. So now I need to focus on this. Now, not to say that I can, in 20 years when I'm 60, and finally decide to be like, oh, I've been practicing how to be an animator. Now I can do this because I love seeing that the pages fold, flip in. I like seeing that. So that's something I was telling myself as a conversation. I was like, a 2D animator would be something I would really, really, really aspire to be. But I could also just do drawings and illustrate and practice. But I've learned to do other things. I need to focus on my acting. I need to focus on my. I'm looking at the mic like it's the camera. I need to focus on my acting. I need to focus on my voiceover. A lot of my voiceovers are the same in a sense, but they kind of. I'm good at mimicking. So if it's in front of me, I can mimic it. If it's online, I gotta kind of spend time with it. I can't remember his last name, but Adam from Open Mic last week he did a Conor McGregor. He did a Conor McGregor. That's not Conor. That's not Conor. Conor. I can't do it now. McGregor. Let's see. I'm gonna say yes. Sorry, my mom's texting me. I gotta take a break. All right. Hey, what's good? What's going on around here? No, see, it's like I feel that my voice is very open right now, so I'm very clear. So, hey, Conor McGregor. I gotta hear him. Gotta hear little Conor McGregor. Oh, what's going on around here? I think he's funny. As in like the way they're making him a what do you call it, actor now. I think he's like, it's funny how I mean, that guy's gonna make it. Watch, he's one of those dedicated people. Oh, okay, well, hold on. Well, sorry, buddy, we got some breaking news. See, this is breaking news. You're seeing it while it's happening. Not it happened, we talked about it, we scripted it, let's let it out. 2 days, 3 days later. Let's see. Probably me, huh? Okay. Would love to have here. All right, it's mom stuff. I gotta do my priority. And work just said, all right, so I got about 20 minutes more. I'm not gonna try to do all 50 minutes, but yeah, I got about 20 minutes more left before I have to take off. But let's see. All right, get off the social media. Sorry, my mom is just priorities. She's just we're planning something, and if I'd rather just get it over with. What's up, Brian? Good morning. What is it? 7:00? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Sorry, I'm talking to my mom. Oh, hey, Brian. What do you call it? Send me some of your display, some of your music, so I can put it in the background. I don't have any music. I don't have any original content. I have my own music. It loops. It loops, but I'm not. See, that's another thing. I taught myself how to do loops. Audio engineering is something I didn't plan on doing. I got tiny ears. Hey, what's up, Kevin? He's back. The homies, give a shout out. I got I got two of my boys right here hanging out with me. Maybe Brian just left because I told me to send me some music. The party will be Saturday. Just don't know the time. All right. Also got another show coming up. We're doing another show May 24th. It's already May. Got to start promoting it. It's the end of the month. We got another Electrónico Fantástico, but it's no longer called the show within a show. From now on, it's called Electrónico Fantástico Spanglish en Vivo. I got to stop looking at the mic like it's recording me. Yeah, Electrónico Fantástico Spanglish in vivo, basically live Spanglish. All right, here we go. All right, whatever. Yeah, social media gets in the way, but yeah. So all that being said, I got about 10 minutes left, so we'll see how we figure out how to do this. I didn't write any of these topics down. I'm always off the top of my head. I'm always cuffing. So sometimes I do. I mean, I'm ready for side by side. I got all the notes here for our discussion. I'm gonna have a Ben this weekend. Side by side movies coming back. I need to do side by side edits. So do short clips. Doing that. Going back to talking about side by side movies, just started because a good friend of mine, Ben Garrett, that I met at the theater, and we became really good friends just by social media, hanging out, talking. He I guess pandemic hit. We're all stuck at home. I was watching 4 movies a day. At the time, I was drinking, so I was like, well, I wasn't drinking around my kids. I was drinking probably like at 7 or 8. Well, he was only 2, so yeah, I was drinking. And just like messing up a lot, and I was like, God, not ready to say messing up. I just been like pissed off. But then I post every movie I watched. I haven't been doing that. I've been watching a lot of movies. I'm trying to figure out where I should post them, but I think it just needs to be on my IG, or I need to just put it in the movie video store. Yeah, but anyways, I still watch. I've watched like 6 movies in the last 3 days. Just joking. But like as I started watching, he said he noticed. He goes, "Hey man, I see that." And here we go again. Here's the conversation. He goes, "Hey man, I see you posting all these movies that I like to watch. We should do something. We should do a podcast." And at the time, Ben just moved to Dallas. So he's up in Dallas, and I'm here. I'm like, all right, cool. I know how to do all this. Oh, actually, did I know how to do this? I think I figured it out. Oh, that's when we got. Okay, I'll bring you somewhere. Look how we're connecting the dots here. This is beautiful. Oh, I got my Patreon page. I need to get going. But look at this. So let me find it first, and then we'll go. But like basically, what happened was Ben was like, "Hey, let's do a podcast," which I thought, all right, let's see how to do it. And we just started meeting up. Dude, we're so close to 100 episodes. We've gotten older. We've gotten more mature. We've got more priorities. So our times don't really meet up anymore. But what do you call it? And this I gotta hope that younger me really really saved everything properly, because oh man, I would hate for this to happen. So oh no, I have it right here. What am I doing? So I'll show you this first. So when I first got started, that's why I have it here. This is so important. So we all start high school, 2003. It's stamped Broadcasting Student of the Year. Up until this moment, I had just joked around and played around with theater and just messed around. I think this is how I am the way I am. I'm finding out a lot about myself. So the broadcasting program, which would be considered this day, would be like multimedia. It was just communication, right? Learn how to talk, learn how to speak. And the anniversary is coming around for the 21st anniversary. So this is a long story, but basically what happened was I became a senior, and we were sent up for classes, and they said, and I know a lot of people like to back then especially, but this is different. I get my shit done. I do what I need to do. Whether you think I'm joking around, slacking off, playing, being lazy, whatever, I have results. Now, some of my results these days, totally my kid, you see my kid, you'll be like, oh, that's where all his time goes. But if you see, like, I do a lot of different things. My senior year in high school, I had to tell myself, because at this point, my the girlfriend I had was gone, so I didn't have any more influences other than like friends and family. But so she graduated early, and I had finished because of her, because she was so academic heavy. She made me go. I'm just saying that she made me do all these dual credit classes, which I'm still grateful. I'm still happy. I'm so happy for her for doing that to me, educated me. She forced me to go through all this stuff, and it worked out. So my senior year in high school, all I had to do was eco and government. And that was it. And play basketball. That's all my focus. So I had this extra time. I always wanted to sign up for broadcasting and the communication class and all that, but everybody that was in it was the older guys are always cockier. They're always, especially where I'm from, they dude always had attitude. I'm the best in this. They're always talking shit or whatever. So my senior year came out. I said, wait, I'm on top now. I guess I should just try it out. And plus, I'm probably gonna suck. Let's just say if I knew anything about production, I'd be like, oh, I could at least be a PA on this thing. Ended up happening where I ended up just having to do everything because nobody was taking it serious. At the end of the year, we do awards for whatever, and the broadcasting year student of the year award came out. Seriously thought it was going to Gary Cooper. or I forgot. I told the story. There's like 3 other people in this where I was like, man, they're really good at this. And I thought I was going to get. It was a shoe in because you have to do it from like your freshman year to your senior year to get broadcasting student of the year. What are those squirrels doing? To get it. So what basically happens is you have to take all this time to get good at it. Like you can't just be a kid off the street and show up and think you can do things. But apparently you can, because I was also doing theater. I'm an actor, you know. So I was like, I'll just combine my acting with this. And I started writing and doing all this stuff, learning about storyboards, figuring out how to do all this. And I guess just, you know, I mean, I'm from a home that doesn't have like, you know, you can do whatever you want, in and out policy. I'll just stay wherever. So I would stay in school and learning how to edit and how to do all this stuff and putting all the time into it. And I had fun. The award ceremony came around. I was in the back actually recording like this. Like I recorded the damn ceremony. I'm dressed like this. It's like a gala. Everybody kind of, I think I remember people being dressed up all nice. I don't really remember exactly how it was. 'Cause I just remember being like, oh, I'm just recording. And then I'm sitting like that. And I remember there being like, and oh, she said this. I remember Ab saying this. I need to get her on my show. I remember her saying, she goes, I can't believe I'm gonna say it, but he earned this. I'm about the name I'm about to say, he earned this. He showed more interest and put in more time than anybody that I'd ever seen. And he did in 1 year what people do in 4 years. So I'm proud to say CJ Robles. And I was like, what? Get out of here. And then I had to walk up. It's a vague memory. I do have pretty sharp memory, but this is a good one. I tend to hold on to like negative things or hateful things or just things where people are just, I don't know, I guess it's a survival skill. You learn to not people do that to you again. But I remember walking up there and it was just being like, whoa, wow, I earned something. I won something. Holy crap. And then, you know, oh, show that award bling. I know, bro. So this is right. I'm saying, so this is how we kind of figure it out, right? Broadcaster. That's the origin story. This is CJ's origin story. One of parts of it, right? So we fast forward. You know, let's add a breakup in there from, you know, and then we're gonna add drug addiction, and then we're gonna add depression, and we're gonna add a lot of depression. Let's ramp it up, and then let's do no support. Let's do access to alcohol and drugs. And yeah, let's live this person that. Let's not build on that. Now we're here in the future. We have all this stuff, right? I'm all here to sound like a bitter Betty. But what I'm trying to say is there's oh, sorry, what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of things that you have to go through sometimes. I say here as a 40-year-old man, like I was like, oh my gosh, when I look back at all the things I reflected on emotions and I felt and how to work with people, but I never reflected on the image. I didn't think image was anything. I didn't care about it because you can tell me that you're a superhero, but if you can't do Superman shit, I don't want to know. But if you're like, I'm a modern day superhero where then you're a cop or whatever, then, that's fine, you know? But to me, it's like, you know, I was taking things for face value. And fast forward, and like I said, 2020, because I had to go. I could talk about that's why my Manic Mondays begins, because I was 26 when I started working on myself. So it took me a few years of lostness. I guess, you know, man, Freddie O really messed me up with this quote when I was like 22, and that kind of nudged me into like start getting your shit together, or at least compose yourself. He said, "This is a good one." I always Freddie O, you end up hearing this one day, straight from the horse's mouth. He said, "Hey, homie, not all that wander are lost." And I was like, how the hell is 21? I'm like 23. He's like 21. I'm like, how the hell does this guy know this? We're in Austin. And he just said that to me. That's stuck in my head because everyone's always like, oh, you're lost. Perdido, not know what you're doing. I'm like, dude, just because I'm not showing you what I'm doing doesn't mean I'm not doing anything. So you start figuring out all this. You start doing all that. Like I would love to do this video with edits and everything, but it takes too much time. And I'm not trying to I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to focus on things right now that I don't need to be focused, like the podcast, learning how to really get that audio crisp and sound when I get back from work right now, which I got to take off in about, I'll get 45. We'll go. I mean, it's 44 minutes we're on right now. It's about 52. We got a bit more time. But all said and done, Ben was like, hey, let's do a podcast. And I said, sure, we'll figure it out. Before I even buying equipment or everything, they started doing meet and greets for conventions, Wizard World, and I wish I would have bought all of these now. Like, oh man, I'm now, you know, you can go back, you can, but you can't. But this is one of those where I'm like, you know, if I could have, I would have bought all the conventions online meet and greets because they're amazing, and I have a few. But I want to say that I did. I was gonna do the interview because I got into conventions in 2018, at the end of 2018, so 2019. So all of because December 2018 was the first one. So all of 2019, I just hit up many conventions. 2020 happened. We got stuck, and I was like, "What am I gonna do? I can't. I had all this stuff. I had all this stuff to go and do this, and oh, my filming stuff all went away. Oh no, what am I gonna do?" Started focusing on this. Started doing that, and I did a meet and greet, and I met the Clerks cast. Amazing people. Great. I've posted this photo a few times, maybe too many times. Great people, love them all. Marilyn, Brian, Scott really got me in my direction where I need to go. They really like. Wait, how do you do this? I can't do it with the image. Oh, I guess not. All right, how about? All right, all right. So you start. Sorry, I was trying to do something. You start to like really listen to people because you're like you're doing what I want to do. So how do I do it? And then Brian O'Halloran just. That's it. That's it. He just laid out for me. Said, "There you go," and figured it out. And I guess you had that interview. You can see it, but it's more of a fanboy. I've fanboyed a lot on all these, so get ready to see the fanboy. But Marilyn was great. I love. She was in Clerks. She's been in a lot of different things, but you know, her I want to know more about her character. Like, man, she really has that. Like, she brings that attitude, and she's such a petite person, and they have like such a power. I was like, so we kind of figured out. She was my first outside of Bruce Campbell. I went Bruce Campbell, then I went Marilyn, then I went Brian, and Brian and I bought two. So I bought two things because I budgeted to buy all four of them because Jeff Anderson, the guy that plays Randall Graves, he didn't want to do it. He's not into like social media. So instead, I was like, well, I'll just buy two with Brian and hang out with him for a minute. So about two with Brian, and these people, they're appreciative. They like to meet their fans. So without knowing I'm a fan, because I appreciate what they did, you know. So then I was like, if I'm gonna meet Brian, I gotta really study. So I started going and seeing what he's been up to outside of Clerks, outside of Mallrats, outside of all stuff. He's a great actor, by the way. As a phenomenal actor. If you're an actor and you want to kind of learn from somebody from cinema, I would say look at Brian O'Halloran's movies, man. Like, God, you got to go to his website and buy him off there, or you can buy him through Scott. But what do you want me to tell you off the top of my head? He's in Vulgar already off the top of my head, and then Vulgarthon's going to be in August, so that's a good thing. He's also in Drop Dead Roses. I like that one a lot. And these are mainly independent movies. Like, he's still an actor, you know. Just because you're not on the big screen Hollywood stuff. What have you seen? What have you been in that I haven't seen? Or what have you been in? It's like, was there not a movie actor then? It's like, oh my god. So when you start to get that a lot as an actor, when I was younger, I see Brian, and he's just always been acting. He's an actor, you know. He does his things. I think the guy should do stand-up. Now, what I know what stand-up is, I need to shut up about telling people they need to do stand-up. They're just people that have personalities, and they're funny. I think Brian should do that. I don't know if he should do stand-up, because stand-up is, now there's another thing. I'm learning live public speaking and entertainment and stand-up, completely different. Because some things you just naturally can do. You can riff, you can crowd work, and in comedians, you put the work in. So even like seeing all the Brian stuff, even what's the one I just the one with Jason Frank. I was gonna get that sign. What's it called? I forgot. Oh my goodness, it's gonna bother me. Let's look it up real quick, everybody. We got 7 minutes. I can't believe I can't remember. It's called Junior Defenders. There we go. This movie, I own it, and it gets signed by Brian. Here we go. 2007. This is Junior Defenders. My boy, the late great Jason Frank, was in this movie. 2007. So I was a senior first time senior in college. This is a great like cameo movie. I love cameo movies. I want to give the shout out to Pauly Shore. I think he's one of the first originals to do this. But Junior Defenders 2007, not rated, 1 hour 22 minutes. It's a funny parody movie. Like it's literally like modern day would be like, I guess, Power Rangers, but MCU, like with like Marvel character, or which show would be? I guess like Hannah Montana. No, it's not a Hannah Montana show. It's like one of those like a kids how they grew up to be adults and where they're at now. It's also about a fan. Yeah, this one's about a fan. Yeah, I forgot about that. So here we go. Comedy. A deranged fan goes on a mission to kidnap the former cast of 1970s kids superhero show in order to produce his own episode. And by the way, I had a hard time reading in high school, and a lot of people would make fun of me because I couldn't read out loud. In English, you put Spanish in front of me, I could read it. But they used to make fun of me, and I grew up in Acuña. I was like, well, my parents went around to teach me, and then didn't teach me how to read. So I'm very proud of the fact that you can, if you go back to watch Side by Side when I first started, I'm struggling. Ben's nickname for me is the Butcher because I was butchering everybody's name, but with practice and with understanding how what's it called? Not phonetics. Is what's the other one is called? Italic? I forgot. But like you can phonetically spell out a name. Director Keith Spiegel, writer Keith Spiegel. Stars Ali Sheedy, Brian O'Halloran, Justin Henry, and Jason David Frank. But this is such a great movie because you get to really see like it's the independentness is crisp, but it's like it's still a movie. Like Brian does a great job. There it is, my boy. Um, he does a great job, and watching these movies like that really helped me understand that just act. You don't have to always be up here. So when I met Brian, I was doing all my research. I was figuring out, all right, what how do you keep going? How do you just don't let it eat you up, don't let it beat you up? And then you go to this show called the O'Halloran. Brian Kilton, Clerks 3. Yeah, dude, I gotta produce. I got so much content. I'd be ashamed if I can't get it all out because I've also it's digital changing. I need to get it out before so it doesn't outdate itself. But Clerks 3, I went to the premiere screening at Clerks 3 in New Jersey in Red Bank. I've seen Clerks 3 probably like 8 times now, maybe 9 times. The first time I saw it, I couldn't remember it. But we'll have to talk about because there's so much going on. There's so much going on. I remember a lot of the scenes. I can remember repeating things. Parts cracked me up. A lot of that. But what messed me up was you're watching a movie with the people that made it for the first time, or the screening for the first time with the people that are in it. So you get to like see, like you feel it. You're like, oh. So on the Brian O'Halloran show, he was doing a streaming show, and the O'Halloran, and he has on guests, and you just come in. A lot of celebrities. He's had on his friends. He's had on like sports people, like a lot of famous athletes, and that to me. Just kind of start seeing what he was doing. But at episode 10, if you watch it, it's a gentleman in there called Scott Schiaffo. I'll bring him right back up one more time. This is Scott Schiaffo. Bottom left. Met that guy. Had no idea. Meeting him out of everybody I'd met, especially at that time in my life and where I was at, I had no idea that was going to spark something in me. That was going to ignite something. And it was a little ember, a little fire, nothing big. But it started something, and over time, it started blossoming, it started burning. Scott has dealt with a lot of substance abuse. He grew up very similar to me. Not the same, but very similar. He was, and he's open about everything. That's what I love about him, man. He's open about it. If he wants to answer a question or answer, he's going to answer it honest. And if you don't like his answer, then that's his answer, But he does, and I'm not saying he's not vulgar. He's a very nice gentleman. So if you look at him, you're like, oh, you didn't have sex. He's like, yeah, he had issues. He would drink and he would do stuff like that. And I did the same thing. As you get older, and I knew as a young age I had to stop these habits. I just didn't know how to stop them. The drug part was easy because I had enough of it, and I saw what it was doing to me. And my younger brother, I didn't want it to fall on him, so I knew I had to change. I had to change. I don't want to pass this shit on. And then that does piss me off when he does send me drug memes. So I need to know what if he's trying to tell me something, or he's making fun of me, or if it's just a funny meme. So I'm gonna have to question him about that. But look at me, his serious look. Hold on, hold on. Look at my brother's serious look. I mean, we look alike, so I should be able to catch this. Yeah, that's how he looks. But I didn't want it to fall on him, so I had to clean myself up. And I'm only 18 years older, so that time goes by like that. He's already 22. I'm already 40. But as you start seeing that, as you get older, you start realizing that, man. And then people always talk bad about you, put you down, like whatever. So you start to like not. You're gonna believe you can start believing them if you want, but I know better. But I started doubting myself in life and stuff. And then what happens is you meet You meet somebody very similar to you, probably doing the thing you want to do, and you realize they're doing it and they're showing me how to do it. I should be doing it. I should be figuring out. You got to make the effort. You got to make the effort. There's a Chaz Palminteri, the creator of Bronx Tale, quote going around right now, and I got one from Les Brown too. That was one I had from Les Brown, but he goes, "If you do what you did, you'll always get what you got." And when I was 26, I heard Les Brown, a motivational speaker, say, "If you like what you have, you like your results, keep doing what you're doing. If you don't like them, you're gonna have to make a change." See how they're very similar? Podcasting, streaming. Oh, bring it back around. So they're very similar, and in that sense, I wanted to change, so I had to change myself. But what Scott really helped me out is, as you get older and you navigate through life, sometimes it starts life like let's get dramatic. For dramatic effects, we'll do this, and then this is all like in camera. This is what we'll call in camera. So we'll have let's go like this. That's the way this goes. That one and this one goes. All right, both of those. All right. So as you get older and you're like trying to figure things out, sometimes it gets dark. And in the darkness, you have to find out who you are and figure out, because you're alone. There's no light. There's no one there. There's nobody there to help you. You're all by yourself. Your mommy's not going to help you. Your girlfriend's not going to help you. Your kids, it's going to be you alone. But once in a while, we need to look for direction. Let me try this again. We have to, once in a while, we have to look for direction. And if you don't know where to look in the dark, it is very hard. It's very hard to navigate yourself. It's very hard to look at yourself. It's very hard to, you're in the dark because you don't want to be exposed. You don't want to be in the light. You don't want to show people what you've become and what you've done, because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what to do. And then you make the decision to go to comic conventions because you've never been to them. And this is the reason I got into comic conventions, because my son's mother said, he's born, she goes, if you don't start doing conventions, you need to stop talking about them. You either go or you stop talking about them. So I started doing the conventions. We lost the conventions. We've put them online. So I said, I love this. This is where I need to be. This is what I want to do. So I felt still like in the dark. And you start meeting Brian and them and Marilyn and Bruce, and they start giving you a little light. You start getting a little bit of flicker. You start being, okay. But it isn't until you just see this one little light, and it's far in the distance, and you see it way back here. So you go to that little light, and you realize, you start talking to this little light, and you realize it's someone like Scott, someone that's still around, someone that's older, that's been through it, and they're still able to act, they're still able to do the things, and they went through this shit, and they were able to come out on top. Regardless whether, like, he hasn't relapsed. He's been sober for like, I think 17 years now. When I met him, he was like 13 years. So, when you go through that and you see all that, you start to believe in yourself. And you start to really be like, okay, there's that little light, and it shines very bright. I need to be a little light, and I need to be brighter. So let me turn the lights up a little bit. I was able to do that with that little light, because that little light believes in itself. So I should believe in myself. So you see that little light, because when you look in the darkness and you start asking for people for help, or you're like, they just look at you and like, I don't know what the hell you're doing. I need you to work, or that's it. Work and shut up. That's it. And there's more to that. So I'm happy I did the interview. I'm happy I did that. And it was all streaming. It was all streaming services. I gotta get ready to go. It was all streaming. It was all doing it. I think I'm able to take that simply because I haven't finished editing the podcast, but we shot the podcast yesterday. Now when I get home from work today, I got to come in and start getting back to editing. My son is sick today, so his mom's gonna watch him. So I gotta be careful. I think he's going in the growth spurt. He's getting tall. I need to make sure I focus. I watch him, but I gotta make sure I focus on this. I need to get this done. I have a deadline. I need to make my deadline. And but saying all that, streamings, podcasting, figuring out who I am, you figure out how you get to yourself. And I don't know, if I don't understand if I would have had a horrible experience with these people if they put me down or if they didn't but I've met them in real life. I've shook their hands, I've talked to them. They're genuine. Bruce Campbell's amazing. Bruce Campbell really, I think I had to have gone this route because Bruce Campbell really was basically like, shut up or go. I've been calling myself a filmmaker. I haven't made a real, I've shot videos. And I shot 2 videos for Electrónico Fantástico, short videos. I should post them. I'm not good at color correcting. I got to focus on that. But as I'm doing these things, I'm like, all right, I was a flat filmmaker. I felt like all my stuff wasn't good. I felt that's why I had to go on this journey and figure this stuff out and go with people amongst the community. But I never thought I was good enough. So I worked on myself and tried to get myself better. As you get older, time's gonna get past and you're gonna get older. So you can be the person you were, you can be a modified person you were, you can be a completely different person. I'm a modified version of myself. I'm still CJ, I'm just different. Some people go 180, some people do a 360, some people do a 450, 90 degrees. No, I'm just saying people they change things, but there's moments in my life that have been captured through media and digital and cameras. Like this shot right here is literally, I have all this stuff I just have saved here. That's a game winner. This is from 10 years ago, or actually 11 years now. This is from, no, we're 20. No, this is 10. This photo's about 10 years old, about to be 10 years old, because we're doing they're bringing back the season for AGBO. And it's an Austin Gay Basketball League. I've been playing it for 10 years. I'm a sponsor there. I have my brand. I'm not gay. My brother is, my younger brother is, but I grew up around the gay people, gay community, but it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. So if you go to the AGBO and you see this is for gay people. Well, not for gay people. So this is for a gay organization made by a straight guy. I made that. I have a graphic design background, and now I look at it, I'm like, okay, I need to change this because I made this like 5 years ago, or I made this, 4 years ago. I need to make this. Well, it says 10 years, 20 seasons. There's 2 seasons in a year. When did I make this? So you got to figure out. And this is all ironic because check this out. All this stuff I've been talking about. Look, go out and meet them. There's Kevin Smith, filmmaker. Scott Schiaffa right there. Go out and meet. I didn't even realize I had this loaded up. Scott he's on End of the Night. I haven't been on the show for a minute, but I've been doing my own thing. But David Lee Madison's, this is a podcast that or a streaming show, let's call it a streaming show that I found that I fell in love with because of Scott. Led me to do my own things, led me to My Manic Mondays, where movies and mental health meet. And then, that led to my video store. I need to focus on that thing, My Manic Movies. So I have all these ideas that I don't really, haven't done it all. This is me when I was 28. This is me at 40. So, missed the long hair. I had a beard phase for a minute. I can do this. I still have, look at this. Oh, not that one. There's David Lee Madison. He was in San Antonio. I drove down to go see him, say what's up. My Manic Mondays is a show. I now have a little me. Well, my son. But this is me at 28, I believe. It was almost probably I think 27. But as you see this, I was able to be in here's memes making fun of Scott. He's the Chew's Gum guy. They Live. Bruce's book. I have all this here just say for this episode today that everybody's exclusively getting. I gotta get off in 3 minutes. So I gotta go to work. But it leads to things. I mean, I have a freaking studio in my backyard. That's more of a shed nowadays. But you go, you meet people, you do things. That's up on my YouTube. This is a quick little 10-minute interview. Leads to other things. Leads to I was in Critters, the movie I was in last year. It's going to be coming out soon, I believe in September. I've met Jesse D'Angelo. He writes books. He's been in movies. His dad was a filmmaker. You know what I mean? I get spotlighted by my AGBO. I had a good game. They want people to know he's in this league. Check it out. It's oh wow, I can't believe my show now, Electrónico Fantástico, Spanglish and like Espanol, side by side movies. Here we go, side by side movies. And then I've met one of my heroes, David Robinson. See, it's just loaded because I kind of been lazy. There's Cheech Marin. I use a lot of the motivational speeches and motivational things I like. I'm old enough to make my own decisions. Exactly. Thanks, Cheech. I didn't talk about that last time. Maybe we should talk about it next time. But we'll see. Can't get mad. Can't get caught up in the past. Got to move towards being in the present, but focus on the future. Use the past as history. You can be as you choose to be. It's an act of discipline sometimes, but it can be done. Discipline. Do my work. Kevin Costner. So, it's like I've been figuring out that, and there's my character right there. That's who I am. That's truly who I am. I don't dress like that all the time. I'm trying to. Been in a movie with Carrie and Scotty. Like we were in a movie last year. We died. I was supposed to be in a movie with them this year, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Desert Fiends. I couldn't. They came at me and said, hey, you want to come in? I try and I couldn't do it. I didn't have any. I'm prioritizing, like, I need to put money into my own business. I need to put money into my own movies. Gabe's birthday is actually today. Happy birthday, Gabe. This is like 2021 when I hung out with Gabe from the Indie Escape. We were there. Texas Frimer, which is this weekend. Or no, sorry, this month. And do it all for what? Do it all for what? For yourself, for your mom. For yourself, for your family, for whoever. But sometimes you got to look at the people that inspired you. And when they were there, my mom is Madonna, and that's me. And that kid looks like my kid now. And I guess I do just like my mom like that. So yeah, so we're full circle. But this is fun. I love all this stuff. So I think this is what I want to do too, and this is where I'm going to go. You're going to see a lot of me. So if you don't want to follow me, don't know what I want to do, then unfollow and subscribe, and then in 2 years see what I'm doing, and you're like, oh, well, I knew you back. That's the funny thing. I'm getting a lot of people come back around that I used to hang out with when I was in my 20s. I didn't hang out with anybody in my 30s. So it's like, yeah, you took some time to come find me, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. People mature, people don't. People change, some people don't. I love Ocean's 11 quote that Saul tells Rusty. He says, oh no, Rusty tells Saul, he goes, I'm retired. He goes, not retired. He goes, I'm too old, slow. And he goes, no, I know. He goes, I'm retired, not retired. You either get sharper or you get slower, but you don't retire. And that's a good CJ quote. But I gotta go to work. What time is it? Yeah, I gotta get out of here. I like doing this. So as long as I'm up early before the deliveries are made, and my job's not a lavish job, it sucks, but it pays, and it's enough for me to get by. So I need to start focusing on other things now. I've been learning a lot from Ty. Ty shows me a lot of things, so he's a good friend of mine. And so if I can help him out in any way, I'll do it. So podcasting was what he wanted, what he wants to help. He wants help on. I'm gonna do this podcast. I'm gonna try to be as good as I keep looking at this thing. I'm gonna help him out as much as I can, because that's someone that I can work with, someone I trust. If you watch this whole thing, you'd see how I'm kind of figuring out. Can't do everything on my own, but I can do a lot. Mediocre. I don't want to put myself down, but there. I don't want to say mediocrity, but not mediocre. But I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Indiana Jones. It's not the years, honey. It's the mileage. Like, that's a good one. Like, that's where I'm at right now at my job. Like, it's broken me down. I've only done it for 2.5 years now, and I'm like, it was supposed to be a 2-year thing, and here I am. Like, all right, no, let's get on it. Let's do my Mining Mondays. Let's focus on this. I'll be looking for sponsorship if anybody's want to be. I'll be posting that soon. Oh yeah, Eliminators. Got to buy this movie too. But I didn't realize. So I got a lot of things. The Power Within. I talked about it. I thought if I talked about it, I can get it out. But it's still there. It's written. I just got to actually prioritize it and make it a comic book. And that's gonna take time. But I'll bring everybody with me, because I think that's what we're supposed to be doing. All right, everybody. I'm gonna get off right now, and I'm gonna go streaming, podcasting. It's a little different, a little the same. But I'm gonna head out. Maybe tomorrow's Friday. Deliveries are just typically early, but the last 2 or 3 weeks, deliveries have been showing up late. I should have been at work at 7:30, but the deliveries are being late. So I mean, not 7:30. You start. I get a text message around 7:30. So about 8:30, you start looking around like, all right, where do I go? Where do I do it? So I have time to do this, and like I said, get on and do it. But I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna head out to work. I'll see y'all later. Peace.